Alright everyone, welcome back to Weekend Restoration. We are working on the Desoto again today, and we were down here a little bit last night, not real long. We just decided to get the seats out of this thing and start looking at the interior a little closer and look at these floor pans. As you can see, there's not a whole lot left of them, but I think that they are available. I'm not sure because on the website the picture isn't very clear, but it looks like it might just be this front square, but we need all the way back to the back seat really. We decided not to show us pulling the seats out because it was really just two bolts that were really left holding the seat in, and then the back seat just pretty much pops right out of place. We pulled these side panels out. We were trying to figure out how to get the window crank off, and sometimes there will be like a spring clip on the back side. You push the panel in and pull that clip off, but we couldn't really see in there, and this body panel doesn't give a whole lot, so we couldn't see in behind there. Not too sure on how those come off, but that's about where we're at. There was a lot of good comments on the last video about a lot of information on these things, since we don't really know a whole lot about them, and so we're hoping that this can be salvaged. We knew it was going to be pretty bad, but not quite sure on how bad it really is at this point. I mean, we could see the floor pans are rough as can be, but who knows what everything else looks like underneath this. So I think for right now, we're gonna work on getting the front fenders off and get the hood off and see what the front of the body looks like, and maybe even start going over the back of this thing, trying to find some body bolts and maybe try and get this separated from the frame. See how the frame ends up looking, and I guess we'll go from there. Okay, so as you guys seen, we pulled the front fenders and the grill and everything off of here. It actually took a lot longer than we expected, just due to where all the bolts were and how everything was all rotted and stuck together. So it is the next day. I think what we're gonna do is take the rest of this wiring off and pull the rad support in the rad, and I think we're gonna pull the doors. And then this front of the body isn't horrible. I mean, from here down, could use some sheet metal work, and down to this corner, this was supposed to be a mount to hold the bottom of the fender, but there's nothing there. I think it can be fixed with a little bit of finesse. So what we're gonna do is just get as many panels off as we can and see what we're actually working with. That way we know what panels to look for and order, and see what all we're gonna have to make from nothing. So we're gonna start pulling these doors off, and we'll be back in a minute. So where we are currently, we got the front clip all off, and we got pretty much everything disconnected from the body, anything like wires and stuff, linkages and whatever that go to the engine and trans. We're having trouble figuring out how this steering shaft comes off of the steering gear. If you look down in that slot, it doesn't look like there's splines or anything, so we're not sure if the shaft goes the whole way up to the steering wheel or if there's some sort of connector union style thing up inside that tube. Not quite sure. We're gonna look in the book and see if we can find some information on that. But at this point, we're just about ready to start pulling body bolts and I guess, get the body off of the frame. I'll try and roll under and show you guys what the frame looks like. It might not be the best quality, but the frame looks very nice for how long it was sitting in the mud. And I noticed we have a pinion seal leaking, so we'll have to address that before we start driving her down the road, if you know what I mean. Broken shock. Might have did that when we were pulling it out, because that's a fresh brake. The body back here, there is some rot. Not horrific, but I think if we can't find panels for this stuff, we could probably just make that out of sheet metal. I don't think it'll be too difficult to build these panels, because they're mainly flat with 90-degree bends. So got the emergency brake disconnected. It does have a drum style brake on the drive shaft, and I got the speedo cable unhooked, and that's about it for under here. But frame looks pretty good, no rot, just surface rust for the most part. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here and see if we can get some more information. But for now, thank you guys for watching. If you have any information, we'd love to see it down in the comments below, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.